This year has been nothing short of a trade earthquake. The United States imposed sweeping tariffs of up to 50% on imported steel and aluminum.
A 25% increase. We're going to bring it from 25% to 50%, the tariffs on steel.
A move that rattled industries worldwide. The ripple effect struck hardest at the heart of automotive and manufacturing supply chains, sending shockwaves through Europe, Asia, and Latin America. Assembly lines sputtered, projects were shelved, and markets scrambled for stability. But as the U.S. clamped down, something unexpected happened. 7 nations, spanning every continent, looked northward. Instead of grinding to a halt, they forged new pathways, pivoting away from the U.S. toward Canada. These fresh trade alliances didn't just salvage industries, they reshaped the global automotive landscape. Number 7. Brazil's shift to Canadian markets. In March 2025, Brazil's agricultural backbone faced a serious blow. Washington slapped a 25% tariff on beef, soy, and ethanol, putting a staggering $12.8 billion annual beef export revenue at risk. But Brazil wasn't about to stall. Within weeks, it struck a $2 billion deal with Canada, rerouting trade lanes in record time. Beef shipments flowed into Alberta and Manitoba, soybeans traveled to Winnipeg and Saskatoon, and ethanol found new buyers in Quebec. The pivot saved an estimated 5,000 ranching jobs in Brazil, while in Canada, it created 400 new positions in meat processing plants and another 250 in grain cooperatives. As an added bonus, Brazil expanded ethanol byproduct exports to China, proving its trade agility. For Brazil, the lesson was clear. Diversify routes, protect jobs, and keep the economic engine humming, even when tariffs threaten to seize it up. Number 6. Mexico's auto parts detour to Canada. Mexico's auto industry is the pride of its economy. But when the U.S. imposed a 35% tariff on Mexican auto components, the impact was immediate and painful in hubs like Ciudad Juarez and Monterrey. Mexico's answer came fast. The Triple North Corridor Alliance, an $8.2 billion pact with Canada. Under this deal, suspension systems, engines, and electronic modules that once crossed into Texas now rolled northward into Ontario. The shift energized assembly lines in Windsor and Brampton, boosting Canadian auto production while ensuring Mexican suppliers stayed afloat. Thousands of jobs were safeguarded on both sides of the new trade corridor. Still, Canadian officials worried about something else: whether Chinese-made parts might sneak through Mexico under the USMCA framework. That sparked heated debates over trade rules and enforcement. Yet despite the bumps, the Mexico-Canada Auto Alliance proved one thing: cross-border teamwork can outmaneuver tariffs and keep cars rolling off the line. Number 5. Australia's mining moves to Canada. Australia's economy runs on mining, but it hit a rough patch when Washington placed a 30% tariff on iron ore and lithium. These critical minerals are the lifeblood of steelmaking and electric vehicle batteries. Rather than slowing down, Australia charted a new course with its Northern Stars initiative, a $3.5 billion deal signed in April 2025 with Canada. Under the pact, bulk shipments of iron ore redirected to Vancouver and Thunder Bay, allowing Ontario's steel mills to boost production by 18% by mid-May. Lithium miners also struck a deal with a Canadian electric bus manufacturer in Welland, Ontario, shifting streams of battery-grade lithium carbonate. The outcome? 2,100 Australian mining jobs preserved. Australia showed the world that even when trade winds shift, resilience and partnerships can keep entire industries moving forward. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way. Number 4. France's green hydrogen partnership with Canada. France's hydrogen industry had ambitious plans, but in 2025, a 30% U.S. tariff on electrolyzers left factories idle and orders canceled. Paris responded by striking a $1.2 billion hydrogen pact with Canada in April. The agreement preserved 1,000 French jobs and simultaneously created 850 new Canadian positions, training local workers to run French-designed electrolyzers in Canadian plants. This deal wasn't just about saving jobs. It plugged directly into France's larger hydrogen vision: 4.5 gigawatts of capacity by 2030, backed by a €4 billion government program. By linking hands with Canada, France kept its energy transition alive and its global credibility intact. Number 3. South Korea's battery supply switch to Canada. South Korea's battery giants, LG Chem and Samsung SDI, were blindsided by a 20% U.S. tariff on lithium-ion modules, a move that disrupted exports to critical EV markets like California. Instead of braking, they hit the accelerator. By April, they signed a $1.7 billion deal with Northvolt Canada, rerouting 500,000 battery modules through hubs in Windsor, London, and Hamilton. This pivot saved 3,000 South Korean jobs, while Canadian EV supply chains gained a massive injection of technology. Meanwhile, LG Energy Solution announced plans for the world's first 4680 battery plant in Chengdu, South Korea, cementing its leadership in the next generation of EV batteries. Number 2. Denmark's green power surge into Canada. Denmark, a global leader in wind power, faced stormy weather when the U.S. imposed a 30% tariff on turbine components. Projects stalled, orders vanished, and thousands of jobs were suddenly at risk. Denmark's solution was a $1.5 billion renewable technology deal with Canada, signed in April. Under the agreement, turbines and green power systems flowed north to provinces like Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan. The pivot preserved 900 Danish jobs and generated 1,100 new Canadian positions in wind and renewable energy. With plans to double offshore wind capacity with 3 gigawatts of new tenders, Denmark showed that clean energy doesn't have borders. It has partners. Number 1. Germany's dual-track auto and hydrogen deal with Canada. No country felt the tariffs more than Germany. A 25% U.S. tariff on vehicles and parts directly threatened its automotive giants, BMW, Volkswagen, and Mercedes-Benz. Germany fired back with precision engineering. It signed a $10 billion duty-free auto parts quota with Canada, rerouting engines, transmissions, and EV components straight into Canadian plants. The deal kept assembly lines running and thousands of German and Canadian workers employed. But Berlin went further. Recognizing the dual challenge of trade and climate, Germany also signed a hydrogen pact with Canada, ensuring long-term supplies for its clean energy transition. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way.